Hey everybody. I'm just gonna do a number of introductory videos for just some of that basic stuff that a lot of people know, but it's been a while and it's a little bit of a refresher. Anyway, if you're worried about math anxiety, there's a cool TED video. I'm not going to show it, but it's pretty cool. And Swiss cheeses, because that's what I think everybody's math background is like. It's pretty solid, but then there's just little bits that are missing. And the next few videos are going to be fixing those. And if you want to know about Bradley, come see me in person. I'll tell you my story about Bradley, who's one of my favorite students who said I can't do math and then turned out to be winning all the academic awards at the end of grade 12. So here we go. So I should put on here this video is about place value. Okay, so seriously, I want you to stop the video right now and count stuff. I'm gonna have drink. You count stuff in the room. Okay, I'm gonna trust that you stop the video and ask you, and then you've counted 5 things. And it doesn't matter what it is. You could count the books on the shelves. You could count the kids. You could count your toes. I don't care. You just count something, right? So I'm looking around. I'm in the classroom. There's 2 doors, 2 fish, 2 fish tanks, 3 whiteboards, oh, hold on, I fixed the camera. I'll fess up with you. This is the first video I've done in a while, so I'm going to be doing a little fiddling. Oops, wrong way. To get everything looking nice. That's not nice. There it is. There's 22 textbooks on the bookshelf. Here's 1 bookshelf. There we go. Ta-da! I counted some stuff. Okay, and those are called natural numbers. They're how everybody learns to count. Now, count the chickens, rockets, elephants. When the first time I did this in class, the students were like, nobody would answer me because they're like, this is a trick question. No, it's not. There should be 0. I'm assuming. Okay, and with it up. So what we're going to look at now is it's called the real number system. And there's going to be bits and pieces that we add on as we go. And it tends to be drawn in what is called a Venn diagram. And Venn diagrams, usually they're circles. It's usually a box around them. But they're just used to short information and keep things organized. And this lovely diagram is from my son. He went through a stage a while ago where anytime I made him angry, it's "Mom, you're a potato." I don't know if that was good or bad, but in his world, as it says, everything is either potato or not a potato, and he's not wrong. So we're going to draw a Venn diagram to show this information. So the box usually represents everything. So if we look at this picture, or what it says, this is the whole world. And if we want to get mathy, the normal word for that is universal set. Now I'm just bringing that in because that shows up again in, I think, a little bit in Math 20, and there's a great big section in Math 30. So I always think if I can introduce these things ahead of time, it's a good deal. All right, so here's everything. So this box represents the potatoes, not potatoes. Then we're going to draw an oval, a circle, whatever makes you happy. Usually it's oval. And we're going to label this as potatoes. So according to my son, that's me. I'm in that circle because I'm a potato. This isn't very interesting yet. I don't know if it's interesting, but it's not too hard. So if these are all the potatoes, what's out there? I feel like I'm Dora the Explorer waiting for your answer. Those are not the potatoes. By the way, we will get to please value shortly. Potatoes, not potatoes, makes up everything. Okay. So some examples of Venn diagrams. Now these seem really simple and they're not bad, but every once in a while you got to be careful because you can mess it up. Now I have to think of something else. Well, I'm going to do it this way. ABE students these things are called a subset. So it's a special group. So if this is ABE students, the outside is not ABE students. And we can call the whole box students. Let's start the next one a different way. Let's say that this box represents all of Canada. And then we can take this and make it Saskatchewan. So I live in Regina, I'm here. My friend lives in Alberta, she'd be there. Cool. Now you pick something. I don't know which is easier, to start with a little group and then figure out what bigger group it belongs to, or start with the big group and then just make a little subset. Your turn. How about we'll call this, I'm going to put the universal set down here. And we're talking about all different types of pets. And I have a dog. So I'm going to make dog's my subset. If you've been in my class, you know about Jelly Mead, my 80-pound lap dog. That's a black lab. Okay, so dogs. So labs, German Shepherds, corgis. I don't know how to spell corgis. And all different types, mutt. A lot of those growing up. Those are all different types of dogs, so they would go in that box. Now, if we start talking about other pets, they would go out here. Horses, cats. Don't judge me, I have a big box of pet worms. Worms, fish, etc. Yeah? Okay, so normally, I guess I should say, your diagram would have pets, dogs, and then it would say like non-dogs out here. But I just wanted to populate it with some words to make sure you're understanding it. So you can't put Rottweilers out here. Rottweilers need to be in this box or in this circle into this subset. Okay, because they're dogs and they're also out of the big grouping of pets, you'd count a Rottie. So Rotties would go in there. All right, and sometimes these circles overlap. Sometimes they look like, this one looks like a fried egg, but they can only partially overlap. So this one, my universal set, SIIT students. Okay, so that's my big group. Now I'm going to take a subgroup. Hold on, I need to pause. Sorry, speaking of the dog, I just had a little dog crisis, but we're okay. All right, anyway, back to this. We got SIIT students. And I'm going to make this first circle, this bigger one. Oopsies. Sorry, my writing's awful this morning. SIIT Regina students. So whether you're here, sorry, I'm physically on campus right now, or you're on campus, or sorry, you're at the construction careers, you're still in this circle. So if you go to school, so SIIT Saskatoon is out there. The Range is out there. Okay, but this is our Regina students. So if we think about all the Regina students, so this is the mental health and wellness program, the BA program, the power engineering, the welding, I don't know what else they do, construction and careers, whatever other program, power engineering, I think I said that twice. All those other programs, we're all in this bigger circle. And you probably are right there. Technically, I'm thinking about it, I didn't need to do Regina there because this big circle says it's Regina anyway. And going with that, I didn't really need SIT there, or there, but clarity is never a bad thing. Okay, so now back to the math. Hopefully you can figure that out. That's like humor from a Venn diagram. We are going to look at this diagram. This is the beginning of the one I said for real numbers. And we're going to figure out where all this stuff fits. So this whole box represents the real number system. Today, don't get too worried about what that actually means. Now we said natural numbers are the smallest group, it's what we count with. And then whole numbers is slightly bigger. And then we're just gonna, for now, call them other numbers. So there's a whole bunch of ways to do this. How about you give it a shot? Use pencil if you want. Pause the video, and you know what? Why don't you start with picking from the list all the ones that are natural numbers. So all the ones that you might use while counting with your children. I hope you paused the video to do that. So I'm thinking 2, 6, 9, 16, 3. Oops, 101. Okay. So that's what we count with. Now, whole numbers, the only difference between natural numbers and whole numbers is 0. I just need to clarify something. I didn't leave myself enough room, so if you are using these notes, you might want to add this. So natural numbers, 1, 2, 3, ... and so on. Because I want to make sure you understand that these natural numbers are a subset or a special group of the whole numbers. Put that back there. So when you start talking about whole numbers, all you do, is start with 0. All right, everything else goes on the outside for now. You all know that's pi, right? Talk about that later. 3.55. 3.4 repeating. Square root 37. 5/8. I'll teach you an amazing math trick right now. There are 15 numbers in the box. Get this out of the way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I missed one. If you have a list of stuff you have to organize or put into a chart, count. I can see right now, I just realized I missed the 0.23. Because honestly, there's a lot of these diagrams. That's the biggest mistake students make, is they just accidentally leave one of them out. All right. Okay. I think I'm going to stop the video there so that they don't get too long.